Hey, it's Nikki. Before we start the podcast, I have something special for you as a listener. Around here in the month of February at Sales Maven, it is a special month for us because we love to celebrate the important clients in our life. So I thought it would be fun to do something and extend it to the listeners this year. That means I have put together a free training for you as a listener that you can go and take advantage of it. It's all about mastering the sales conversation. This is a quick training. It's there to enhance what you're already doing now and really amplify your success in closing more business. To go watch the training, you're going to want to go to yoursalesmaven.com/free training, and you can take advantage of it right now. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And when you're ready, start the podcast.
Are you ready to boost your confidence when selling so you're able to close more deals? Nikki Rausch will show you how to build a foundation of skills and a mindset that creates sales success without feeling pushy or salesy and without fear of rejection. She is a sales strategist and coach with more than 25 years of sales experience and is master certified in neuro-linguistic programming. This is a radically different approach to selling. It's a no sleaze, no slime, and no stress approach to building your business. This is Sales Maven. Here's Nikki.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. I'm your host, Nikki Rausch. I am here to offer you tips, techniques, and strategies to master your sales conversations. Today's episode is about how to sell your most profitable business offer or offers, but probably offer. I am so excited to have this conversation with you today. This is something that has come up quite a bit in a few coaching sessions with clients recently. And I would say I've coached about this many, many times with clients, but I don't know that I've actually shared some of these strategies on the podcast. So I wanted to share them with you because there is a saying, it's from my background in neuro-linguistic programming. It was oftentimes when you would describe NLP, people would say, NLP is a comment on the obvious that isn't obvious until it's commented on. And I feel like there are a lot of things in life that are so obvious once they've been commented on. And yet it's like you have those moments where it's like, palm to the forehead where you're like, duh, why didn't I think of that myself? Well, it's because it's hard to think of things for yourself. So this has kind of been the response that I've been getting as I've been coaching through this. And actually, I will say, I feel like a lot of times what I do is a lot of commenting on the obvious, because then people are like, of course, yes. So it's not like I have some super, smart trick up my sleeve. As a matter of fact, there aren't any tricks. It's just helping bring things into the light that we tend to have blind spots on. And I need people to do this for me. As a matter of fact, sometimes when I'm coaching clients, it's like my own light bulbs are going off. I'm telling people or coaching people on things, strategies that I'm like, I was just struggling with this yesterday. Like, why couldn't I have done this for myself? Sometimes it's hard to do for ourselves. So again, I'm recording this podcast episode or offering this content for you today in case this will be one of those comments on the obvious that maybe you haven't put into practice yet, or hopefully you'll have one aha or one big takeaway from some of the strategies that we're going to talk about today around selling your most profitable business offers. So some of the questions that I've been getting lately, people will say to me, I'd really rather, what I want to sell more of is X, Y, and Z. It could be whatever it is in your, arsenal of all your offers, whatever it is that you have. What's that thing that's really profitable? Or it doesn't, yes, profitable is awesome, but it could also be the thing that you enjoy doing the most. Or maybe the thing, I had this conversation with a client recently where she was talking about what she really, really wanted to do was buy back time. She's like, at this point, I'm at capacity. I really want more time. So what should I be selling? And so I don't know if you're in that situation, but if you are, I think these these tips and techniques that I'm going to offer today may assist you in that. Or if there's one offer that you're like, dang, every time I sell that, that really increases my bottom line significantly. And I want to sell more of those, like whatever that thing is. Okay, so let's make sure you're doing some of these things. Now, again, these are going to be obvious things. And look for ways that you can do more of what it is that you're already doing, or add one or two of these things in these suggestions that I'm going to give, so that you can start selling more of the thing you want to sell the most, hopefully the most profitable thing for you. Now, the first place that you're going to want to look when it comes to the sale is look at, what are you promoting on your website? This comes up a lot with clients because they'll tell me what they want to sell. But then when I go and look at their website, it's like, I don't even see that there, or it's not obvious in any way. So do you need to make this more obvious in the way that you're marketing your business? And websites are a good place to start, because a lot of us take pieces from our website and then that's what we, share out into social media, or we, funnel things back to there. Like we're funneling people back to our websites a lot of times. So what are you promoting? Because if it's hard to find, if it's buried up amongst all the other offers, if you go to somebody's website and they have like 18 ways that they, you can pay them money, it's going to be really hard for somebody to choose. So what's the thing you most want to sell? I know in my business, one of the things I figured out, and I think I've shared this on the podcast too, is that there are 3 core areas of my business that feed. If I sell, a masterclass, people that take masterclasses from me are more likely to do a strategy session with me. And if I sell a strategy session with somebody, they're more likely to take a masterclass or want to be in the Sales Maven Society. My Sales Maven Society members, want to a lot of times take a masterclass and or do a strategy session with me. So these are the 3 main offers that are on my website, even though there really are like 18 different ways people can pay me money. Those 3 things are my most profitable offers because they increase lifetime value. If a client doesn't just buy one, but they buy, they're in the Sales Maven Society, they buy a masterclass, then they buy some strategy sessions, that increases the lifetime value of the client. That becomes the most profitable offer in my business. What is yours? Have you thought about it? And if you haven't thought about it, it might be time. And again, look at your website. What are you promoting? What are you driving people's attention to? Okay, so then the next piece, once you've done that, once you've looked at your website, is look at what is going out in your email. Are you putting out some type of a newsletter or some type of email that goes out regularly to your list? If not, why not? I know I've recorded podcast episodes. I've shared episodes around how important it is to build your email list and ways to do that. So you're building your email list. Do you have in the thing that goes out regularly ways for people to work with you that highlights that offer that you want to sell? I actually learned this tip from my good friend, Melina Palmer, who has the Brainy Business. She had shared with me at one point when we were looking at my offers, like, what was the thing you most want to sell, Nikki? And put next to it, in parentheses, most popular. I thought that was such a great tip. And I do that now on the things that I want to sell the most of, because I highlight and focus on those things. So I do sell those things the most, and they become the most popular things. And I can't tell you how many times clients will tell me they send out newsletters every week, but there's never anything in there of like ways to work together or, break it down. I actually put ways to work with me in my newsletter. It also goes in my workbooks. So when you take a masterclass or you take some training with me, in my workbooks, there's a little section that says ways to work with Nikki. And it's got this breakdown of these like few ways to work with me so that I can promote like, okay, so I'm taking this masterclass. What are other ways that I can work with this person? Are you letting people know other ways to work with you? And if not, that might be a missed opportunity. It might be time for you to highlight that in the way that you're communicating and the content that you're putting out to your email list. Now, kind of a follow-up on that on your email list is, how do people join your email list? Usually there's some type of an opt-in or a lead magnet or your irresistible free offer, whatever you call it. Does that lead to the thing that you want to sell most? Because, we can all have 18 different opt-ins. Apparently 18 is my popular number today because I've said it a bunch of times. But you can have a bunch of different things and ways for people to opt in, but they might be confusing. They might not relate to the thing that you want to sell. So you might need to look at what your opt-in doing. Is it driving towards that behavior or that next step, that profitable offer that you most want to sell? Does it relate to it in some way? And if not, it might be time to change up your opt-in offer. Or the email sequence that is attached to that opt-in offer. Does that drive people to that next step? So I teach a masterclass called conversion email sequences. And in there, we talk about like which email you're going to have, like the sales offer. But before that sales offer, there's an email that I outlined for people, and I call it a little something extra. And I actually pull a piece of training that leads people to the next step that I want them to take. And it's like a bonus for them. And it's just a piece of whatever that next step is that I want them to take. That next step is going to be the step where there's actually money exchanged. So does your next step, that like if you're going to give people a bonus or some type of like little something extra, does it relate back to the offer that you most want to sell? And if it doesn't, it might be time to change that up. And yes, I know once you set your email sequences, it's fun to just leave them and never ever touch them again because it's a lot of work to write them. And it's probably worth it for you to take some time and make some adjustments. If it's not working, change it. If it is working, awesome, leave it. But if it's not driving people to take the action that you most want them to take, it's time to make some adjustments. Now, next piece, sticking with the email list, is when is the last time you made a specific offer to your email list about that profitable offer that you most want to sell? I cannot tell you, I feel like if I had $1 for every time I ask this question when I'm doing private coaching with clients, like when's the last time you made an offer to your email list that was specific to this particular product or this particular service that you want to sell? And people are like, never. Never is almost always the answer, or like, I don't remember, which is also almost the same as never. So, okay, let's put together an offer. Now, an offer can mean that you offer some special pricing on it. That's your choice if you want to discount it. I know sometimes people are like, I never discount my services, which is totally fine. I get that. But the other thing, there's two other ways that you can put out an offer to your email list. One could be the catalyst for it would be to create a sense of urgency. So that sense of urgency could come from the first 3 people that sign up are going to get a bonus, or that sense of urgency could be, I have only 2 spots left. Who would like them for this month, right? It could be that. So you can create a sense of urgency. And then I kind of already dropped this other one, is offer some type of a bonus. Doesn't have to be a discount, but what could a bonus be for people taking that next step with you to your most profitable offer? Is there something little extra that you could throw in that wouldn't necessarily cost you money? You wouldn't be giving up your profit margin. And yet for the receiver of it, it might be a huge value. What could that be? Something to think about there. Okay, a couple more ideas around this. Hopefully this is spurring something for you. Please let me know. I want to hear what you do as a result of listening to this particular episode. Is think about on your social media and the shares that you're doing. Because this is the other thing that I hear is a lot of times when I'll ask, like, when's the last time you posted anything on social media that had that was related back to the thing that you most want to sell. And a lot of times people are posting things on social media, me included, that don't necessarily relate back to the thing that you most want to sell. So it might be time to change that up and or plant some seeds with the post that you're actually, if you're taking the time to craft a post, it's not that hard to change up your language a little bit and say, maybe you're giving a language suggestion, or maybe you're giving a tip, or you're giving some type of strategy. You might say like, this piece or this tip or this strategy comes from X, Y, and Z offer, ready to take this further, here's your link to sign up to get your own version of whatever that offer is. Do that. Or it could also be, I like to use things where I say like, this is the first thing. I might say like, here's a tip or here's a technique. And I might say, this is the first thing that I do with all of my clients when we are working together in a strategy session. Because that plants the seed. If I wanted to sell strategy sessions, if that was the thing that I wanted to sell more of, like plant that seed. Super important to plant these seeds over and over. Because again, I think you know this, not everybody sees your social media posts. And sometimes people have to hear about, read about, see things over and over and over again before they're ready to say yes. I know I've talked about convincer strategy before on the podcast. You never know when you're going to pique somebody's convincer strategy to make them like tip and say, yes, I'm ready to take that next step. So continue to do this. That doesn't mean that every single post has to be specific to that offer. Yet, if you're posting, 10 times on social media, and of those 10 times, you never ever mention anything about the thing you most want to sell, you're probably missing the boat there. Like, what action do you want people to take? And then here's the last thing. And I hope, again, this is one of those super obvious that may not be as obvious until it's commented on. So I'm going to comment on it, is when you are talking to a prospective client, recommend the thing that you want to sell. Now, of course, the recommendation should be based on, what's going to be the best fit for them. But don't be afraid if they're going to get huge value out of the thing that you most want to sell, for that to be the recommendation. And you don't have to always have, I know some of my clients think because I teach having like 3 offers, it doesn't mean that you have to have 3 offers. If that is the best fit, if that is going to get them results or solve their problem, meet their need, then recommend that and stand in your place of credibility and say, based on what you've shared, my recommendation would be XYZ, insert most profitable offer for you. And here's why. Because chances are then they're going to take your recommendation and buy what it is they're going to buy the thing that you recommended. So really, really important to do this. So I hope some of these tips were helpful. I hope some of this was like, duh, Nikki, I already know that. I already do that. Awesome. And maybe there was one in here that you hadn't thought about recently. So it might be time for you to take some action. I would love to hear what action you take as a result of this. Now, as we wrap up this particular episode today, you might have been hearing that 2022 is the year of connection for me. And I know how important connections are to opening doors, to bringing new opportunities into your business. So I am opening my doors and sharing some of my favorite connections with you. And it's up to you to take action and go and connect with these people. So today's connection is my friend, new friend for me, Frank Agin. Now, Frank, I met him. I was interviewed on his podcast and I had a ball. We hit it off right from the start. As a matter of fact, before the podcast recorded, I had tears in my eyes. I was laughing so hard. He's so engaging. He's such an interesting person. He's so kind. And he's an awesome connector, which is going to make sense when I tell you a little bit about what Frank does. So he's the founder and president of Am Spirit Business Connections, where he works to empower entrepreneurs, sales reps, and professionals around the country to become more successful through networking. He has a podcast. You can check him out, but I'm going to actually direct you to this one page where you can check out his page, and he's got all the different ways to connect with him. So if you just go to www.frankagin, so Agin is spelled AGIN.com. So Frank, FRANK, AGIN.com, then you can connect with him. So whether you want to connect with him on LinkedIn, whether you want to go listen to his podcast, which is the Networking RX, it's awesome. He's got these little like biz bites that he does every single day, great tips. And he's just a really great guy. Now, oftentimes people are like, I want to network, but there's no networking groups meeting in my area. Connect with Frank, because he probably can tell you about a group that might be a really good fit for you. Since I've been on his podcast, he's connected me with some incredible people, and he's just an incredible person. So I hope you'll take a moment to connect with him. And hey, if you and I are not connected yet, let's connect. I love to hear from listeners. It makes my heart so happy to know that you find value in the podcast and that you're here and that you listen till the end. So I would love to connect with you. I tend to hang out on LinkedIn. You can find me under Nikki Rausch. I tend to hang out on Instagram. You can find me under Sales Maven. Super easy. And I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to hear what you do. Love to hear what you find valuable about the podcast, or what it is that's going on in your business right now, or what do you want to sell more of? All of those great things. And hey, if you haven't joined the Sales Maven Society yet, if you haven't dipped your toe in that water to check out what's going on there, the Sales Maven Society really is my group coaching program. It is a monthly membership where you get 2 live calls a month with me. You get access to my training center. I have 12 core fundamental sales trainings in there for you, plus over 200 additional resources and trainings all around sales to boost your confidence. You can come join the Sales Maven Society right now by going to salesmavensociety.com. And if you enter coupon code 47trial, that's the number 4, the number 7, TRIAL, you can take $100 off your first month in the program. So you can come for only $47 for your first month. Love to see you there. There's a lot going on. It's a great group. Thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Sales Maven. Visit us online at yoursalesmaven.com/maven for more resources to boost your confidence and skills.